7 months ago, I lost my husband. I didn't know that I'll be a young widow. So it's not part of my plan, but it's part of God's plan. So I've lost my husband. It's just this year, which is really hard, really a tragic, most biggest challenge I've ever experienced. I can't put words on it because those few months I feel like it's really a blur. I never thought that I myself will experience that kind of thing.
Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to the Farche Wellness Podcast. And today we have a very special guest. She is a friend, a colleague, and she is a lot of things. She is a digital marketer, SEO specialist, content creator, multimedia designer, e learning educator, development communication graduate, email and campaign strategist, social media creator, project leader, and lead generator. And she is a mother of three. Welcome to the podcast, Reina.
Hi, hello everyone. It's nice to be here.
Thank you. I know you're busy. Everybody's busy, right? Especially this time of the year. But we're
Mhm.
glad that you're here because we have so many questions. You're a digital marketing expert. This is a platform that the business is trying to tap more, right? We have
Mhm.
lots of accountants, bookkeepers, admins. Digital marketing, we're trying to grow that. That's why we have, awesome and experienced people like you. But for those who are listening, like so, maybe they're not too familiar with digital marketing. Just can you tell us more about your career journey? What drew you? Why digital marketing, right? Why not
Mhm.
become a
Yeah.
nurse or a teacher? I don't know. So what's with the digital marketing?
Well, digital marketing and my first time in the remote world is actually I started my career as a copywriter. So, as a copywriter, it taught me how powerful words and messaging can be, right? It gives you how to entice people, how to inspire people, and a lot of things. And then after during my copywriting career, I was promoted into a growth focused role. So, and that's when I was truly introduced in the strategy world of digital marketing, right? So, as a growth person, you're not just at that time, I'm not just creating content. I'm analyzing results, getting all of those metrics, understanding user behavior, and then building strategies from bottom to top to have that strategy to help business move forward. That experience is what really made me fall in love with digital marketing. Yep.
Well, okay, love is a strong word. Okay, love.
Yeah.
Would you agree though that so when we say digital marketing, right? Because we do the same thing.
Hmm.
Sometimes people just think that, oh, digital marketing, they're just posting on Facebook. That's it.
Yeah.
Just putting up ads, putting something on TikTok or wherever, right? So what
Hmm.
what do we actually do, right? Just to clarify, we're not just posting stuff on Facebook, guys. We're actually doing work, right? We're not actually into Facebook ourselves. We just use it a platform, but Reina would probably explain it better. What do we actually
Well,
do?
yeah, actually digital marketing is is a whole lot of level. It is involved in different types of department in any business. So marketing itself is, for me, it's the core of any business. You don't have any business that doesn't have their own marketing, right? And what people see is just the tip of the iceberg, like the posting and stuff. They don't see how we do the metrics, how we strategize, how we learn, how our clients, their behavior, the customers behavior, how they are, those strategies, those work, you know it doesn't it doesn't show to people because the only thing that they see is that, as I've mentioned, the tip of the iceberg. They only see the post, they only see the email, they only see those stuff, but they don't see what goes into that work. And there's a lot, to be honest. There's a lot. It's not just you posting something and then, yeah, there it is, you posted. Well and good. No, it's not just, it doesn't start there, and it doesn't end there as well. Because before you post, you have to say, oh, what will be the strategy? What are the posts that I'm going to put? And then after you put those posts, what had happened? What are the results? Is this working? Is it not working? Why is it not working? Why is it working? There's a lot. There's really a lot. So it's not just you posting. It's not you just sending emails. No, it's not how it works. So there's a lot. There's a lot of things that had happened or that is happening inside digital marketing.
I love that. There's a lot of things happen. So, but you would you agree though that I feel like our department, let's call it, right, the marketing department, it feels like the
Mm-hmm.
department that everyone really enjoys pretending to be good at. You know what I mean? Like we the marketing people, right? So we know what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
guy from finance, guy from operation comes in and say, you know what, guys, I think we should change the logo to pink or something because my niece is into Instagram and I
Mm-hmm.
saw it online. Maybe we should I'm like, bro, no. Like we know what we're doing, we have the
Mm-hmm.
experience that we research on this real literally years like took us to
Yeah.
master this stuff. You don't just like come in and tell us,
Mhm.
because you saw something on Instagram, now you know marketing. And no, it doesn't work that way, bro. It's just like in any other expertise. Like you don't just become a doctor the next day.
Yeah.
You have to be
It
trained
doesn't.
with all that stuff. The same goes with us. So how do you deal with, I'm sure you have, right? How do
Yeah.
you deal with people like that? Have you experienced something like that?
Well, yeah. Well, recently I had a meeting a couple of months ago. It is a meeting on about their marketing strategy, and there is this lawyer. He is a tax lawyer for that specific company, and we're talking about the different kinds of marketing that we'll be doing with the business. And he said that why do we need this landing page? Imagine a lawyer asking you why do we need this? It's not part of his like expertise since he is a lawyer. Technically, he is a lawyer, so he doesn't know much about this sort of things, the posting, the landing pages, everything. So I have to really educate him what it is. You have to in to people who doesn't know anything about digital marketing, you have to really tell them in ways that they can understand. you know it's like you teaching children. So for no, it's not. It's true. You have to educate them what it is, why it is, how it is, and what happens after. So you have to really educate those people, although they are really knowledgeable in their expertise, but because that is their expertise. So you have to always, on my end, in every client, in everything, I have to really put myself in and saying that they don't know anything. So you have to really educate them. What is the importance of it? What is the impact of it in the business? So yeah, there's a lot of question that why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? This is
Exactly.
just this is just gonna be posting. No, it's not just posting. This is just you bringing yourself or um showing yourself or bringing your digital persona, your business into the world. So it's not just you going out and sending out things and stuff, but yeah.
I love that, and it's patience and a lot of
Yes.
education, right? A lot of sharing.
Yes, a lot.
So I always say, like, if can you imagine if we do it the other way, right? If you and I are us
Mhm.
marketing people, we just go to the finance meeting and just start saying, guys, from now on, 3 plus 3 equals 7. That's and everybody's gonna lose their mind, and we're gonna look like idiots,
Mhm.
right? But somehow, some way, it's always fine if it's the other way around, right? If
Yeah.
the guy comes in and she has his marketing ideas, like, bro, no, you got to stay in your lane, bro. But yeah, patience, and I love your approach to this, just teaching them, right? Just
Yeah, you have to teach them. You have to educate them what is the importance of this so that they know. Because it's easy. It's easy to say, "Oh, it's just that." It's not just that. It's not just a post, it's not just a landing page, it's not just a website. It is how you showcase yourself technically.
right. So Reina, you've been on this for decades
Mhm.
now, and you have so much knowledge, so much expertise. Looking back, what project or what accomplishment you feel like is the one you're most proud of, right? What is the crowning achievement of the digital marketer Reina Villaflor?
Well, technically there will be a lot because one if I consider one of my biggest milestones is of course helping business grow because that's the core of marketing. Help the business grow. And and see how they actually see how they change the operation procedures, right? And right now, currently, I'm especially proud of, if I'm gonna think of something, is in creating an AI bot for a business that was, that was built to handle customer inquiries, qualify leads, and of course, it improves the response time, right? To be honest, right now we are in the AI world. It's already rising, the AI, the world of AI. So that bot really helped reduce manual work. It reduced manual work. It improved the customer experience because you might, you might disagree with AI bot. It's not part of marketing, but it is. It is part of marketing because we are improving the customer experience. It's part of marketing to improve how we cater to those people, to the clients, to the customers. And it also, at the same time, it allows the team to focus on higher level tasks. So that project really showed me how powerful technology can be with, and when it's paired with strategy. Because if you have, like, for example, if you have like a website and you have like here like a bot or a chat bot that can respond immediately, then you'll have like a greater customer experience and a greater part of marketing wherein you are reaching to them, hey, we are always here, because we as a marketer, we have to always see the behavioral pattern of our customers, of our clients. We have to check those things, and in order for us to do that, of course, we have to immediately respond to their queries so that they can go back. They are not just a visitor, a new visitor, they will be a return visitor. So just like in any like for example, any shop, when you go inside and the the sales ladies or those attendants there will really cater to you, you'll go back, right? It's not just it's part of marketing, and it's also part of a business as a whole, as a strategy. So those sort of things are part of marketing that also cater to different departments. Like, for example, in the operations department, you have to tell the operations department that, hey guys, this is our marketing. You have to do this. We have a sale. Of course, when you do have a sale, you have to like tell the employees like we have this. You have to cater to them so that they can return. So it's part of the overall marketing strategy of any kinds of business.
I love that. I love that. So I think we're convincing a lot of people now to transfer to the marketing world. Anybody here, like maybe you're an accountant, a bookkeeper, want to cross over to the fun side? I'm just kidding.
Let's go.
So, Reina, what is the best part of being a digital marketer?
Best part of digital marketer for me is it is evolving, always. It constantly evolves. It always has a new things. The trend today is not the trend tomorrow. It always evolves. So the best part of it is you always have a new learning.
Okay.
You always have something to learn. You're not going to be stagnant on doing the same thing over and over and over again. You'll have new things to discover, new things to learn, new things to always, step foot in it and go with it.
I love
So
that.
you really have to be adaptable in all of those changes.
There you go. You're forced to grow. You ain't got no choice, right?
Yes.
You're gonna get
Yeah.
left behind in the, especially you mentioned earlier, right? The shift from
Mm-hmm.
traditional to digital marketing is so fast, and you just gotta keep learning, and
Yeah.
you can't stay where you are right now, right? So
Yeah, it is.
so from that shift from the traditional to the digital
Mm-hmm.
marketing, how do you cope? How do you stay update? Like, do you follow certain people? Like,
Mm-hmm.
where do you get your new ideas?
Well, there's a lot of things right now, especially right now. There's a lot of things where you can learn, especially like for example, YouTube. You can learn, you can watch, you can visit Facebook group or pages. But on my end, usually I go to LinkedIn. I
Okay.
go to LinkedIn and check what are the things that those people who are, like, for example, a CEO or a marketer or anything else that has that kind of things. You can see their post, you can see how they do things, and it can be a learning platform. LinkedIn is really for me, LinkedIn is powerful when it comes to teaching people what are their strategies, how do they do this and that. So yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot comparing before when I've started.
okay.
There's not much. There's not much, to be honest. There's not much. It's hard to learn on your own, especially if you don't have that much resources compared to now. Because before, people don't know virtual work. They don't know remote work. Remote work just boomed during the pandemic.
Absolutely.
But before, freelancers like me, who doesn't have you know, freelancers who just go to those things like the Upwork before, the old Odesk, those
Yeah,
things, it's hard. Yes, the old things. It's hard to learn because you have to master it on your own. You have to really be resourceful in
absolutely.
order for you to grow on your own.
Exactly.
That's,
They don't
yeah.
even teach you this at school, right? Like you don't go to
Yes, they
school and
don't.
learn how to optimize meta and right.
Yeah, they don't. They
Don't
don't.
tell you this stuff. You just gotta learn. But you said something there about remote work, right? So I'm curious about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you've built a career now,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much virtually, right? So you've been on
Yeah.
this for, I said, like decades now, everything online. So you've been on this for so long now. What do you think would be the biggest advantage, right, of
Mm-hmm.
working online, working virtually? How did that help you?
Well, to be honest, the biggest advantage of remote work is its flexibility.
Okay.
The flexibility of you managing your time and spending time to your family, especially for with me. So with me, I do have 3 kids. I'm a widow. So those time are priceless because you can never go back in time, right? You can never go back in time. Imagine you going 8 to 5 in the office, especially on my end. Imagine myself going 8 to 5 in the office, being there when I got home, or when you go home, your kids will be asleep. And then by the next morning, you'll have to go again. Maybe they're still asleep. So that time is really precious, especially with a mother like me who has kids growing up. It's really precious that you can spend those times with your family and at the same time build your career. So it's just that flexibility of managing your own time. That's the greatest and biggest advantage of it.
There you go. Especially for us, like parents and all,
Mm-hmm,
you don't want to miss
parents.
a thing, right? Like
Yes.
you snooze and they're 13 years old and they hate you. It's like, well, what happened? What happened to the little kid who loves me, right? So
Yeah.
you gotta enjoy those moments. But from the
Mm,
perspective of the client, what would you say is their advantage, right? So for us, it's family, the comfort.
yeah.
But why would a client choose to do virtual? Because they are, right? You hear stories
Yeah.
like Apple, Sony, they're all outsourcing now virtually too. They ain't got no giant offices no more, right? So why
Mm-hmm.
do you think the shift, right? Why is everyone choosing virtual staff over local staff, I would say?
Well, for me, it will be the talent pool because you have a wider range of talent pool. Comparing before, when you set up a business, you are limited in that area. And right now, you have the opportunity to get more talents from different side of the world. And there are a lot of talented people outside of that limit area, right? So the clients tend to go virtually. It's because they can see more talent. They have more choices. Let's say they have more opportunities to check which talent they'll get to help them.
That's great, right? Because you know what, 25 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say a client from Sydney wouldn't have the opportunity to hire Reina, right? Because
Yeah.
the internet was bad, right? Nobody really
Yeah.
outsourcing anymore. So, but they're missing out. Actually, they're missing out on talent,
Mm-hmm.
missing out on
Yes.
great talent around the world. Not just the Philippines, but you're talking about India, China, right? Cambodia.
Yeah.
It's the you limit yourself if you just hire locally, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a win-win, I would say, right? So
Yeah.
to anyone who's listening, our Farche Solution stuff, we're all thankful that we're all working from home and we can see our kids. So sometimes we take that for granted, right? Because not everyone, as Reina said, experience that. There are parents who work from 8 to 5 and they have to come home to traffic and all, and then they miss everything. So
Mm-hmm.
this
Yeah.
is a truly advantage, all right? So you got us there, Reina, and that's good. What would you say, like, people who are not yet into the virtual world of I guess outsourcing, what would be your advice to anyone? Like, do they need an awesome setup at home, with like an office or like super speed internet? What would you say, like based on your experience since you started this?
Well, you don't really need those high end computers. You don't really need those you know, um, high speed internet. As long as it's manageable, you can connect to people, you can use your computer, even a secondhand computer, you can use that, right? The only thing that matters is your mindset. You're disciplined to yourself that you will do this work, you will, because the accountability itself, right? You have to be accountable for your own time, for your own self, because there won't be any supervisors running, checking around, walking on the floor, checking what you're doing. You'll be that for yourself. You'll be accountable on it. So
Which
you
is a
have
good
to
thing,
really,
right? Because
yes, it is.
it forces you to grow, right? Almost.
Mm-hmm. So, that integrity in self is what you should have in terms of work. You have to have that integrity. That's why the most important thing is mindset.
I like it.
Mindset of having the accountability and integrity to do your work. That's the greatest asset for me as a virtual worker.
Correct. I agree with that because at the end of the day, nobody sees what you're doing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's not nobody check. Especially here in Farche Solutions, we're very lenient, right? We don't micromanage,
Hmm.
and because our motto actually here in Farche Solutions is we don't hire kids. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Only kids needs supervision, right?
Supervision.
If you're an adult, you're a professional, you don't need supervision. You got to do what you got to do. And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you've said where integrity comes in, right? So I love it.
Hmm.
I love that. So sorry, great stuff. All right. So now that you've said all the great things about the virtual world and working and everybody's happy, right? So, we're very fair here. Surely that's not the end all. Something, there has to be a disadvantage to all of this.
Hmm.
Personally, from your perspective, right? What has been the biggest, I guess, challenge, right, from moving from, let's say, an office type of atmosphere work to virtual? What has been the challenge?
Well, I think the biggest challenge for everyone, not just myself, because myself, I'm an introvert. But for those people who's not, the biggest challenge will be the social side.
Okay.
Because you don't have, that feeling of isolation,
Okay.
you're gonna feel that because you're just working on your own, and you don't have like, unlike when you're going to the office, to the building and everything, you have like your colleagues there, like, hey, you want to grab some dinner or want to grab some coffee after work. You don't have those kinds of things because you wake up, you work, you sleep, you wake up. So that's just the routine. Right?
Never ends.
That's just
Yeah.
a routine. It never ends. You don't have like a colleague like, hey, are you gonna go home? Let's go have a coffee first. You don't have that.
I love
That's why the
it.
social side of it is kind of that feeling of isolation that is really that's really a greatest challenge. So for those virtual workers, also have that time, schedule a time with your friends to go out so that you don't feel like you're alone. So
So how
you
did you
don't have
cope with that? Like you yourself, you said you've been alone, right? You said the walls are closing in almost. So how do you cope with that? Do you still go out with your friends? You set date times to like meet up.
Yeah, I do set time with my friends. Like for example, during weekends you go out, or with your family you go out, with your friends you go out. You just have to set it up on yourself. That's why, because in virtual you have to be accountable in everything. You have to be responsible in everything. If you have to work this sort amount of time, then if you are going to work out, if you're going to do your meditation or anything else, you do that. You have to like manage your own time and have a discipline on your own. There won't be anyone who's going to supervise you on doing things. You have to be an adult to set at a time that, if you feel isolated, then go out, see
Absolutely.
people.
See people. It's a good
Yeah.
thing. And we Filipinos, I mean, we gotta admit here, Everyone who's listening here is probably a Filipino. We all love social. We all love chismes, right? Office chismes. You hang out, you pretend you're getting coffee, right? And you're actually that
Yeah.
that's
Spill the tea.
exactly. It's just hanging out with the other person over there. No, but that's it. That disappears right online because
Mm-hmm.
much as we love that, the other culture are not into that, right? They're not very
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
philosophy, right? It's a very Filipino thing, and I'm not trying to like diminish whatever. Right? That's the thing. So you touched on something that I was gonna ask now. About just going to the gym. Sorry. So this is a wellness podcast. You have to be well, mind, spirit, and body.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you
Yeah.
keep up with keeping your body well? Because working from home, you're sitting down 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
right? You're like almost crouched down. You're just hands on your keyboard.
Yeah.
We ain't moving, right? We ain't doing nothing, and in which the body needs that. How do you cope with that?
Well, technically, I'm not a workout person. The only thing that I do is how you are. I'm
Oh,
not. I'm not. I don't usually work out, but I do lose weight. I do lose weight because of all the things that had happened with myself. But the only thing that I do is after working, like for example, I usually have my classes, right? So after like an hour of working, I usually rest my eyes. It's
okay.
important for us to take care of our eyes because that's the things that we need. We
Of
really
course.
need to see things, right? And then at the same time, have a walk. Just around the subdivision or where you live, just like 20 minutes walk after after dinner or anything. Just have a walk. Contemplate life during those walk.
So what am I
Have a
doing with my life? Where am I? And then you walk
yeah.
like 100 meters away from. So I'm like, all right, but there you go. Stay fit. Stay fit.
Stay fit. Yeah. Eat healthy. Stay fit. All those
Right.
things. You don't have to, you don't have to really build up your muscles. But if you're into it, then go ahead. But for those who doesn't really like me, I really don't, I really don't do weights or anything else. Sometimes I do go to yoga class when my friend
Awesome.
is gonna ask, but that was before because right now I really stopped because of those injuries that I've got. But before I do yoga, like at least once or twice a month. It's just me going with a friend. It's not me really enthusiastic with it, but yeah.
That's awesome though, right? And you
Mhm.
just a reminder again to everyone who's listening, eating the right things is almost as important
Yes.
as staying fit, right? So
Hmm.
as we work from home, sometimes we just want to finish the work. We either do not eat at all
Yeah.
or we eat
Hmm.
the wrong things, something that we can just like grab, right? And just like num num
Yeah.
num. That's my lunch, that's my dinner. And how do you still deal with it? Because I have trouble with that. Honestly, I forget the time. It's like, oh my god, I skipped lunch again. So do you have like
Mhm.
as a remote worker, do you have still a office, almost like an office schedule where it's like, okay, it's 12 p.m., it's time to eat, Reina? Do you still do that?
Well, yeah, it is. Sometimes sometimes I do have those things where and oh, I forgot to eat. It's almost this and that. But at the same time, you have to really have like that discipline on yourself as well to really eat on time and eat with your family. That's the
Okay.
whole reason
Okay.
with
I
it,
like that.
right?
I like that.
If you don't, like for example, you've missed breakfast. Of course, you've missed breakfast, especially for those people who work graveyard shift or night shift. Breakfast is technically your dinner, right? Before going to sleep, or sometimes lunch. So you have to really, the reason why you're doing, because I'm always reminding myself, the reason why I'm doing this work from home or remote work is for me to spend time with my family, to take advantage of that advantage that it's giving me. So if you're not going to take advantage of that, then it's what's the use of it, right?
Exactly. You just made things worse, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you lose the like you're supposed to spend time with family, but you're all working. So that will also be my suggestion. Although you are working from home, you still need to know when to stop working, right?
Yeah.
There ain't no clock, right? You go to the office, and if it's like 3:45 p.m., everybody's at the door already. right? It's just like, oh, it's
Yeah.
time, right? But when you're working at home, you just lose track of time. Oh my God, it's 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working, right? So
Mm-hmm.
great point there
Yeah.
to spend time with family. Um,
Yeah. You have to be responsible with your time, really. That's the main, that's why I've mentioned earlier the discipline of it. You
this
have to discipline yourself. Yes.
So you said something about family, and I did ask you about this before we start the podcast. If it's okay to talk about it, not many of our listeners here, our friends, knows
Mm-hmm.
what happened to you 7 months ago, and as a friend, as a colleague, we're here for you and all that. But you went through something very tragic, right?
Yeah.
Unexpected, and just walk us through. Walk us through what happened, and because you look much better now than you did 7 months ago. You seem happier, you seem fit, right? So of
Mm-hmm.
course, there are some things that will never go away. But if it's all right with you, just walk us through that experience.
Yeah, sure. Technically, that time, 7 months ago, I lost my husband. I didn't know that I'll be a young widow. So it's not part of my plan, but it's part of God's plan. So I've lost my husband. It's just this year, which is really hard, really a tragic, most biggest challenge I've ever experienced. I can't put words on it because those few months I feel like it's really a blur. I never thought that I myself will experience that kind of thing. Nobody wants their husband to die, right? And their other partner to gone instantly. But it taught me a lot. It really taught me a lot that um life is really short. It's really short. Time, you can't rewind time, you can't go back. You can't always say that if you have a problem, if I just do this, if I just do that, maybe it's a different outcome. No, there's no what ifs. There's no going back. So during those times it's really hard to cope up, especially with the three kids and me right now. I don't have like a choice to grieve. It feels like I don't have, I can't mope around, I can't cry all day, I can't close the door. I have to stand back up because I have kids. I have kids that is really dependent on me. So I have to be strong. I have to keep going, function as always, and work, smile, laugh at everything. And, always show that you're there, you're still there. And yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard. It changes, the only thing that I've during all of those things, my my anchor is my kids, of course. And it's like those love from my kids, it becomes my anchor. So technically, I don't want to be mushy, but l- technically love really becomes your anchor when life changes, like, life changes in ways you've never expected. It will be always your anchor. Love is not just, a partner to partner. It's family love, friends love, everything. So that is really what makes us human, I think.
Reina, what do you miss the most about him?
Oh. Well, of course, I've missed our morning talks, my morning rants, you know, whenever I have like frustrations, even whenever we do have things that we don't want or things we just wanted to, uh, you know, put out, you know, so there's like a person that you can talk to immediately. You can put all of your frustrations, the things that you would want to celebrate, you know, those things, those kinds of talk. So those are the things that I've really missed because right now I don't have, although I have my friends, I have my family, I have my mom, but of course it's different. It's really different. It's different to have that kind of person to just let it all out to them.
It's never easy. Yeah.
Yep.
He, from what I've learned, he was a great man. and an even better father.
Yeah, he
And
is.
and losing him was unexpected, changed you, right? And obviously your children as well. And as you said, no one wanted this, right? It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
expected. And
Yeah.
so do you still, like, have days or nights where you think about what could have been? Do you like still like, I miss him, I want to see him now? Does that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah, of course. Almost every day. Almost every day. It feels like it's not
One.
almost, but every day, I must say. Like when everything good or bad happens, it feels like I wish you were here. I wish you know how to fix this. How should I do this? What do you think is the most practical thing to do when it comes to this? Or if there's like, you know, I'm actually always talking to myself, like imagining that he's in front of me. I'm telling things to him. It's not because I'm going crazy or anything, imagining a
Well, we
person,
never
but
know. I'm kidding.
it's really hard to cope, especially when you've lost your partner, your better half, let's say. It feels like a part of you was gone, right? So it's hard, especially when bringing up kids. What do you think will be best for them to do this, to do that? How should I deal with this? How should I deal with that? Oh, they've got good grades. Oh, they have this. All of those biggest challenges and accomplishments that you wanted them to also be part of, but they can't be part of. That's why it's hard, but at the same time, you have to grieving is not really gonna go away. Grieving is not gonna go away, but I have my kids. I have the kids here, so I have to be strong.
So yeah, Reina, I know it's
Hmm.
been difficult, right?
Hmm.
But it's almost like, am I right to say that we almost, when tragedy happens like this, as a parent, right?
Hmm.
We almost don't have the right to grieve
Yes.
and to be sad and to mope, and because this what happened to you, it happens to a very small percentage of the people. It almost never happens. That's how rare and tragic it is, right? So when that
Yeah.
happens, yes, you have the right to cry. You have the right to close your door for a month, for a week, for a year. You lose weight. You don't eat. You're by yourself. You're just and you have all the right to do that, right? But as a
Yeah.
parent, it's almost unfair, right? Because
Hmm.
your youngest kid is 5 years old, and you have to look after. How did you find the strength to, like, you know what, I'm not gonna cry today, and I'm just gonna focus on the kids? And that was pretty much day one, I guess.
Yeah.
How did you do you have a support system? Was that all on you? Walk me through that. How did that happen?
Well, I have my mom, right? The Because my mom is also a widow, so she understands my pain and struggle, and anything that happens to us, like you will still realize that your greatest backup, your greatest support are not just your friends. It will be your parents. It will be your mother, to be exact. It will always comes down to being to your mom. My mom is also really strong. She always tells us, my father back then when he was still alive, in every problem, maybe it's because of the upbringing that he has with me, he always tells us that if you encounter a problem, you have to face that problem with a solution. You have to look for a solution in every problem. You don't have to mope. You don't have to cry. Yeah, you can cry. After crying, then you have to find a solution. You don't dwell on the problem, you dwell on the solution. That's why when this tragedy happened to me, it's like I don't want my kids to see me cry. I always go to a small space like in the bathroom or in my office, lock that in the midnight thing. That's when I really give all of those emotions. And in the morning, I have to wake up, smile, laugh with my kids, play with my kids. It feels like, because I don't want them to see that their mom is struggling. But to be honest, I've lost weight. I really lost weight. Yeah. I was uh like what, 15 kilos? 15 kilos that I've lost in
Wow,
just 3 months. I've really
that's a
I
lot.
really lost weight. Yes, that's a lot. You know, I'm not even have like doing those workout diet and stuff. It's just like my weight just really plummet down. I say, so I didn't really do any workout or anything, but I've lost weight. Maybe because of those things that I carry. Even until now, I always tell myself that to laugh, to smile, to laugh, to talk to people more. I don't usually stay, because before I'll just stay with myself, read books, etc. That's my greatest escape in the work. Like for example, it's the work is getting a bit more challenging and stuff. In order for me to release that, I always travel through my books. Yeah,
Books.
through my
Okay.
books. Yes. You know, those things, like you have to see the world using by reading. That's me.
Love
When
that.
I was when I was a kid, my mom's not gonna, my mom's always scolding me, "You're reading again. You're always reading and reading. You're not doing anything. Get out of your room." It's not like, and it's typical for moms, like you have your phones again. You don't stop doing your work. You don't stop doing things. You just focus on your phones, or you focus on your, when we were kids, right? Our mothers will like scold us, but my mom usually scold me for reading books.
You're. I can see. That's why the background. I guess
Yeah, a
that's why.
background.
That's an.
Mm.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
So what are you into?
A lot. Well, I love sci-fi. I love those books that are really into not a macabre type of books, but sort of like the detective type of books. Sometimes I also read like romance novels,
Uh-oh.
but not too much. Not too much on the romance thing. Comedy books, yeah, I do
Wow.
that. Sci-fi, um
What's the
about
greatest book you've ever read?
the greatest book still will be women's book, which is from Danielle Steele. If you're familiar with her, she's a woman, a writer, but her book is somehow more on the life or struggles of a woman. Like for example, uh the one thing or the one book that I will never forget is The Letter from Nam. It is about like the war in Vietnam. Technically, the female character there is a journalist as well in the war, and it tells a lot of struggles and so, of a woman in being a war correspondent. And also, like, yeah, there's a lot of books that I've loved. And I've always, right now, my kids, when they're going home, I always track their books because I want them to take care of the books. I don't want that, even the I want their books to be clean, to be tidy, and everything. Whenever I see that, I go ballistic on them. I was like, "You don't do this to your books. You have to take care of it." Blah blah blah. It's like, because I wanted to, because I love books. The greatest gift on for me is just give me a book or two, then I'm all good. You know?
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Don't leave the gadgets alone and just
Yeah.
like work on that. I love that. But Reina, so
Hmm.
since this is a wellness a podcast,
Hmm.
a lot of people who are hearing this maybe going through some things, right?
Yeah.
Maybe are just went through some things,
Hmm.
stuff in their life, that we can maybe share something to them how to face those. But before you answer that, so the tragedy that happened, right? There's almost
Hmm.
like a before and after now, right? So before
Yeah.
that happened, there was this Reina, right? And then
Hmm.
after the tragedy, there's a new Reina. What is the
Mm-hmm.
biggest difference between the before Reina and the new Reina? Like what changed? Because there had to be a change, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest transition, I guess? What was the biggest change that happened personally from you? Like what did you have to do? Like from now on, I'm gonna be, what was the
Mm-hmm.
biggest change?
Well, the biggest change or the biggest I think on myself is that I'm stronger now. I'm stronger. Really, that's what I think. I'm stronger now because I have to face everything on my own. Before I have a person that I can go to like whenever I'm stressed out or I just want to, want to burst, give out my frustrations and everything on the everyday life. And right now it's just me. It's just gonna be me. So I have to learn, it also made me look back on myself because I don't really, as I've mentioned, personally, I'm extroverted when it comes to digital, like right now. But personally, I'm really introvert. You don't gonna see me talk too much. But right now, I'm trying to understand people, like being more compassionate, understand like what had happened here, maybe you know that compassion and understanding that everyone carries a struggle. Everyone. Everyone has something that it doesn't have to be maybe for you it's just light. Maybe for them it's really big. You know, we can't really understand people when we're not in their shoes. It's okay to empathize because empathizing is putting yourself into their shoes. But even though you put yourself into their shoes, you won't really understand or grasp their situation, how they're handling it. Because the people have different stages or different what do you call this? Different coping mechanism on things, right? It's for you, it's light, it's easy, it's just a problem like this and that. But for them, it's hard. It's giving the toll, those frustrations, stress, and everything. It's different for every people. That's why on my end, I always tell that after this has happened, yeah, it made me strong, but it also made me more compassionate to people. You know, to understand now that everyone carries struggles, everyone, that they carry struggles that you cannot always see. Right? People who are always smiling, people who are always sad. It's not that, because they say that kids who cry gets a candy, right? They always say that. Kids who cry always get the candy. But there are kids who always laugh, but still they are struggling. So we have to be compassionate. We have to be fair. You know, um, you have to lead with more like of a, if you're a leader on this side, you have to lead with more patience. You have to empathize with them. You have to care because as a person, it's not, or as a parent, I'm a leader on my end, right? So as a parent, it's not just about giving the kids or uh giving the kids what they want. It's about being a human as well. And it can apply in leadership, it can apply in everything else. You have to be more compassionate to people. You have to understand that people has struggles, different types of struggles that they carry. So yeah.
Just understanding, right? Understanding people.
Mhm.
There you go.
Understanding people.
I love
And
that.
it also applies to digital marketing because you always have to understand the behavior of your customers or your clients.
Right.
So
It all goes back to the career for you. No,
yeah.
it's very driven, very before we end this,
Mhm.
I just my I guess my where you are, where are you right now? Like in life, how's everything? With the kids, with the work, with the family, how's everything?
Every right now, I think I'm getting on track. It's getting on track because before it was like a blur. I'm working, stuff, taking care of the kids and that stuff. But I feel like I'm feeling like a robot. You're functioning. I'm functioning, yes. I'm doing everything, but it still feels like I'm still trapped in that. situation we're in. I just have to smile. I just have to do this and that. So right now, I'm telling myself as always. Although some days there are blurs, some days that it's all good, but right now I'm trying to really get in the track, get things moving. You know, uh, having myself like not just functioning. It's hard. It's really hard to function, but I have to, right? I have to. And it's also gives me the drive to really work hard, to take care of things, my family, my kids, everything. So it's just that I'm telling myself that I don't have to be perfect, right? Or to be strong. You don't have to be perfectly strong. There are weaknesses. There are times that you just have to cry. There are times that you just have to, you know, uh what do you call this? Pep talk yourself. Like you can do this. Another day you have to do this. Yeah, you have to do that. You have to have that inspirational talk with yourself, because that's how I usually start my day. Oh, it's another day. I have to do this. I have to be strong another day. This is another day of life that God has given me. So I have to make full use of it. And then at the same time, you have your support. Get your support system on my end, which is my mom. That's my biggest support. So you have, and at the same time, you have to at least rest when your body needs to rest. So I think that's where I am right now. Life, because before I feel like I'm in a race. Like I have to do this, I have to do that. Because I'm very driven. I'm always driven to have an achievement, this and that. I have to achieve this in a span of time. I'll give a deadline on myself. I usually do that, but right now I'm telling myself that life is not a race. Life is for me to enjoy, because life is really short. You don't know when or where you're gonna say goodbye to life, because that's what happened, right? It really made me that tragedy really made me realize that in a snap of a finger you're gone. Just a snap of a finger, then everything's out. So you have to really I have in my pep talk with myself every day, I have to say that enjoy today, have a great day. If there's a problem, solve it. If you can solve it, find other ways.
I like
Yeah.
that. There you go. Just leave the day one day at a time, I guess. Right?
Yes.
Life is short.
Live every day.
Live every day like it's your
Yeah.
last or something. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I love that, Reina. It's so awesome to have you here. You have shared your life, your lessons, your career, and anybody who's listening this, including myself, I've learned much from you on how to be strong, how to look at life, right? Not just in terms
Mm-hmm.
of your career but also in terms of your personal, your how you take care of family as a parent, right? How you look at things, and it is an honor to have you here as a guest, and even greater honor to have you as a friend. So we are with you, right? We want you to be successful. We want you to be happy, and we want we want you to be super smiling again, I guess, right? And
Yeah.
thank you, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll definitely see each other soon.
Yeah, hopefully. And I hope that everyone who listens to this has something to learn. I'm not sure. Just a little thing on my end as like a closing spiel or
Sure.
something or anything. Um, just on a personal basis, even work or anything, just be to yourself, give yourself grace. That's always. Give yourself grace. That's one of the line that I usually, yeah, give yourself grace as always. Do not yield to any problems. Be strong.
Be
That's it.
strong.
Yeah, be strong.
Love
But you
yourself.
don't have to be perfect to be, you don't have to be perfectly strong. Just know to yourself that you can do it for the day. And to be honest, during that time, I'm really thankful to Fortune, to you, and to everyone in the company that has been with me. It's really a lot. Like, I've been out like for a month or two. Yeah, I think so. And you guys are still with me. So that's really on my end. That's really a great support system in in my work environment. Because honestly, on my personal side, I have my mom, and in a work side, I have you guys. So I'm really, really, really thankful, especially to you.
You're welcome.
And I'm glad that you're my friend.
There you go. Yes, we're all friends here, by the way. But thank you so much, Reina.
Thank you.